Welcome to another episode.
Oh man, I got it wrong again.
Welcome to another episode of Driving to the Res with Larry and Inelia. You did great.
Yay!
I'm so proud of you, honey.
Thank you, honey.
Let's just do it, right?
Let's just do it. Yes, so this episode, I wanted to really accentuate the fact.
Emphasize.
And emphasize.
Yes, just helping you with your adjectives.
Thank you, honey. You're so good at that.
Thank you. What were you talking about?
It's just a love fest in this car.
Okay. Try again.
Okay, so, yeah. I remember now. That the time of waiting is over. You really need to get your act together and start creating and expanding on your reality co-creations of high frequency structures and lives. Okay, no more waiting, just do it. Get off the couch and do it. Don't wait for anything. Don't wait for an external to come along and do it for you. Don't wait for the right energies to come. Don't wait for the right microphone to start a podcast. Don't wait for anything. Just do it. It doesn't matter what it is that you are planning to do or have always dreamed of doing. Just do it. Don't wait. It's time. Now we have to do it. Really, quite honestly. It's time to do it now.
So, if, for example, I read a little channel thing the other day. It said something about pillars of light coming in a month or two. And when the pillars of light come, that will be like a sign that the new paradigm's starting. So, is that hopium or what?
Okay, so hopium.
Hopium.
Yes, that is indeed hopium. I didn't know what that word meant until Larry told me about it earlier today. It's a very interesting word. Hopium is a mix between hope and opium, which basically has a lot of different meanings, but the way that Larry uses it, and I think is perfect, is that the other external people or forces tell you to wait. Just don't do it yet. Wait. Next week or tomorrow, whatever's, it's going to be the perfect time. Don't do it now because it's on Mercury retrograde or whatever it is. Don't do it. Yep. But next week you can. And then next week is like, oh, wait, that was cancelled. Wait until next month.
Now there's going to be probably an eclipse.
Yeah, so wait until next month.
And then I heard that there was going to be disclosure. When disclosure happens,
then you can do it.
Then it'll be all released and everything will be good.
Oh, actually, you might not have to do anything. It will be done for you.
Well, mostly, that does happen too. But that's basically hopium, right?
Yes.
You hope that comes true. If that comes true, then you really don't have to do anything. So we can pretty much sit around the couch and watch YouTubes.
Extremely passive behavior.
It encourages passivity.
Very, very passive behavior. Step out of the passive, go into the active. Go, be a go-getter. Go get that new life, that amazing experience on the planet. Go get it. Do it. Create it. Now. Not tomorrow. Not the day after. Now.
Interestingly enough, that vision and that new vision or whatever that new paradigm is, that life is, believe it or not, it's not what you read.
I don't understand what that means.
It isn't a reality somebody else invented.
Oh, it's yours.
It's the one you're creating.
Exactly. How do I do that? Okay, so the first thing you do is you embody the new paradigm. What does that even mean? It means that you become very strict with yourself and you do not indulge in low frequency engagements, in drama and nasty stuff. You don't indulge in that. You just drop it. You drop it and you feed and you work with the high frequency stuff. You really work with the high frequency stuff. And you feed the high frequency stuff. You find yourself other high frequency co-creators and you do it. You just figure it out, man. Just figure it out. You got to figure it out. You got to be proactive about this.
So let's say you're all for it and you've read some hopium. It actually did give you hope. And, it's like, well, I'm not going to wait for the lights. I'm just going to do it now. But say your family or who you live with, maybe they ridicule it, or they're like kind of like dragging you down,
What about it?
I mean, do you blame them?
Oh, no.
What do you do?
You respond accordingly. You just do it, man.
Just do it.
Just do it.
Can you talk a little bit about releasing your requirement for them? I mean, you're doing it to them too. It's not like a one-way street, right?
I don't understand doing what to them. I don't understand.
Well, you want to create
part.
a new paradigm, but everyone around you is dragging you down.
Well, drop them.
How do you just drop them if
You
you're
just say,
married to
yeah,
them?
that's great. You say, that's great. That's what you can have. It's perfect. We can share this house, but I'm not going to be feeding that reality, right? But you can think this, but you don't have to say it that way. Think, oh yeah, I really appreciate what you're doing, and I'm going to do this instead. Or also, I'm going to also do this. Right? You manage your words and everything so that you don't become and pulled into a fight over righteousness, who's right and who's wrong.
Yeah, because
everybody's right. I mean, they're right for them.
What about if you're living with a gal, for example, who's all for Biden or really interested in the Trump game or whatever, you know? And every other sentence is something about that. How do you deal with that?
Well, I would be very diplomatic about it and say, hey, you know, I know that you're super passionate about this, but I really am not. And it kind of triggers me a little bit when this happens. So could we come into an understanding of keeping our conversations to other topics? And I have a story about that.
I want to hear it.
Okay. When I was 14 years old, I lived in Spain with my father, and I went to school there. And I met a really good friend, really good friend, and she was a Jehovah's Witness. And part of her religion was that she had to convert anybody and everybody into her religion. That was part of their tenets or dogma, or whatever it is. And also, she wasn't allowed to be friends with somebody who wasn't part of the church, or whatever they call it.
I think they would call that cult behavior.
Yes.
Yeah.
So anyways, I'm not judging their religion, I never have. But it's like, I wasn't interested in it, and we got into massive arguments about what was real and what wasn't real, and the world and everything, and she was based on that religion, and I wasn't, and then everything was against her, and blah, 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 and me, blah, blah. Anyways, one day I said, stop, you know, when she was trying to recruit me again because she had to, otherwise we couldn't be friends. I said, listen, why don't you can tell your parents that you're trying to recruit me every day, and if they ask me, I'll say, oh yeah, she doesn't stop talking about it. I'm really considering it. And let's just not ever talk about religion again. We can talk about anything and everything else under the sun. Let's just not do religion, okay? Because we're never going to agree. So why ruin this beautiful friendship when we're actually never going to agree on that? So let's just enjoy our company and talk about all sorts of other things. And let's do that, right?
I bet you that relieved a huge amount of tension. I mean, it probably even reduced a lot of the us-them energy in the relationship, right?
Oh my God, it was amazing. It was really, really amazing. We were inseparable after that. It was amazing. It was really, really good.
I bet many, probably some, maybe not all, but I bet there's a good portion that would think that would never work. But I bet you one thing for sure. It will never work if you don't try it, right?
Correct, yeah.
The answer is automatically it's not working if you haven't even given it a go.
Exactly. And if 2 14-year-old girls can do it...
I think if 2 14-year-old girls can do it,
yeah,
you're probably capable.
Exactly.
If it's your husband, it's your mom, it's your dad, it's whatever, it's like you can have a beautiful relationship and not agree on politics. I mean, that's...
Or religion, or whatever.
Or even high or low frequency paradigms, or all of that thing. Yeah. You can still have a high frequency relationship.
And it comes through, I know it's important to you. Right? I know you're passionate about it, right? But it does trigger me, so I really prefer not to talk about that. Because I really, really appreciate you. I love you. And I want you and to be in my life. And I really love everything else about our relationship. But this is really, really unpleasant for me. So could we do something else?
Like talk about Aeolian harps, for example.
Aeolian harps.
Aeolian harps. I was really inspired a little bit by that whole conversation I listened to with Dr. Cohen and the harp maker, because It wasn't about...
If you don't know what we're talking about right now, just refer to last week's podcast, the podcast before this one. We talk about that.
Ad nauseum.
Okay, so what were you going to say about it?
The interesting bit was that harp fella, he just did it. He woke up in the morning, he found it fascinating, and then he went somewhere and he learned how to do it, and he built it, and he created his life around it, and he has a huge high-frequency life. And the entire conversation those two had, even though it's this week and the whole world's falling apart if you look in some directions, no one mention of the world falling apart, not even one sniffle of it. It was all about what they were passionate about and what they were loving about it and how it connected them with their bodies and their basically high-frequency life.
Yes.
They had nobody telling them nothing about low-frequency stuff in that. It was just focusing attention on what it was that they were interested in creating together. It was wonderful. It was a
huge relief
to be able to listen to somebody talk about something, high frequency.
Yes.
And it wasn't,
it's really nice.
It wasn't like they ignore it or they're not cognizant of it. It's not like Pollyannas, They're aware. I mean, Dr. Cohen is a doctor. He gave up his doctor's license.
He's in the forefront of education about what's going on right now.
Yeah, but not one
But that's
iota
not
of attention or focus. He could have full attention and focus on a high frequency subject with a high frequency individual.
Yes.
Just enjoy the conversation.
Yes.
And he was all smiles.
Yep.
So that's kind of the idea. Hopium would say, if I just get a harp someday in my yard, then I'll have a nice life too.
Yes, that would be a hopium.
That would be hopium.
Yeah.
So what stops you from getting a air harp? Which is just a proxy or an example for what stops you from creating your high frequency paradigm. Right. It's always the same thing, right?
Yes.
Relationship.
Yes.
Money.
Yes.
Fear.
Yes.
Is there anything else?
And health.
Health.
Yeah, some people use their health as an excuse not to do stuff.
Okay, so those are the 4 things. If you can... Not everybody has all 4, but most everybody has some combination of those 4.
Combo or something, yeah.
If I only get healthy, well, you get healthy, and then now my husband won't support me.
Yeah.
If I only get my husband to support me, well, now he will, but we're broke. These are self-imposed limitations to keep your life at a space and place that it's at.
Yeah.
So how do you shift that?
Yeah. Well, you own it, of course.
Well, you own it.
Yeah, you own your own limitations.
You own your limitations. You realize you imposed them on yourself.
Yeah.
And you just drop
I like that example. Remember that example that you gave about the bologna sandwich guy?
Oh, yeah. I have. I mean,
you
Inelia
personally?
said, and Kara, I think even Ashley, probably Fred, they said, I need to have a little cooking channel because I like watching cooking on YouTube sometimes.
And Larry's an excellent cook. He's an amazing cook.
People think I'm a great cook.
And he's a great teacher.
I really don't understand why, because I just put this and this and that and the other and it's done.
Exactly. See? That energy is awesome.
So I watched this other channel. It's 80-year-old former extra kind of actor guy.
Yeah, an extra.
He was an extra mostly, or he'd have 1 line or 2 lines in these shows. He's 90, looks like, probably.
120.
Yeah. And,
I think he's in his 90s, actually, yeah.
One of our housemates is very, very, very particular about his food for health reasons, right? And, oh my God, when we watched this guy's YouTube channel, because he's quite ancient.
Yes.
And he has the videos cooking old man food, basically. I don't know how to say it.
Old man food.
Old man food. If you're living on your own, you're 80 years old, how can you eat, in his definition of healthy? So,
well, he did put whole wheat toast
I know. Last night we watched how to eat a bologna sandwich. I'm not kidding. It has 260,000 views. So it's quite popular.
And the camera work was impeccable.
Camera work was just one angle pointing at his face.
Yeah, it was
and he'd lift the things up, say, "Look in my pan." So he put some onions not chopped, just put into big kind of squares.
Yeah.
He put those in the pan. And in the same pan, he put the bologna. Then he's warming it all up, and he flips the bologna over. He says, "See, it's starting to get brown. Sometimes it'll puff up too." And then he gets a can of beans, opens it up, pours it in on top of everything. Then it's all cooking and stuff. He lifts up the pan and says, "See, it's all in the pan." Puts it down, and he starts talking about this or that. it costs 99 cents for this and 14 cents for a 12. Divided by 20 makes this only 2 cents. So this whole meal is going to cost $1.42.
Yes.
And it's so healthy because he puts cabbage and stuff. If you put cabbage in it, that makes it healthy. And in this case, he had whole wheat bread. He made toast.
So it's good for you.
He put the toast in there. He popped it out, and he put it in the pan on top of everything else.
Yeah.
And our housemate had a cow because he likes his stuff separated. He's not impressed with putting all the things in one pan. So we have a lot of fun. This is kind of harmless entertainment. But the point is I'm going to make a cooking channel. I'm going to make a bologna sandwich. And I'm going to own it. And he owns that.
He totally does.
And he said, this is
hundreds
healthy.
Of thousands of views.
I used whole wheat bread. This is healthy for you. I try not to eat bologna too often. But if you put whole wheat bread on it, it'll be okay. Oh, man, this is just like I remember it from 1940. He was smiling big, too.
Oh, he was so funny.
So he makes a lot of things, and they're equally, I would consider simple. Like, here's how you make a can of chunky
Spam.
Campbell's soup.
Right.
Actually, a video to make Campbell's soup.
Yes.
Chunky, which means you don't even have to add water. You just pour it in the pan and turn it off.
Yes. Yes.
But he got a few 100,000 views of that, too.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, he did add a few salt, pepper. He did add a little of this and that. He jazzed it up. But the point is his production value is pretty much zero. He isn't a young, attractive, whatever, boy, girl, dressed in any kind of costume whatsoever.
Nothing.
His scene is his countertop or his stovetop, and I'm telling you
his
what,
face.
His stovetop is nothing to brag about. That's just the kind of JCPenney stove from, I guess you might find in a trailer if you move into a trailer house. It has these round burners. It's not gas.
It's a tiny little stove.
There's nothing to it.
Yeah.
And it's old pan, too, by the way.
Yeah.
And he's got ads. And he just talks about stuff, and he makes a bologna sandwich. 250,000, million views, things like that.
He didn't wait, he just did it.
Didn't wait, just did it.
So what does that say to you?
He's living his best life. His definition of his best life is what he's living.
Yes.
It may not be yours, but that's not what you need to live. You don't need his best life.
Exactly, but it is for him.
But it totally is for him. I guess that was
when
my
are you
point.
when are you going to set up your YouTube channel, honey?
Well, I don't know if my YouTube channel is in my best life, honey.
Of course it is.
I haven't made that decision yet. I'm going to pull a card.
Okay.
I'll pull a card. I'll actually look at it. Maybe we'll do it.
Okay.
Because at least we can make one about making spaghetti, because that...
Oh my God, you make the best spaghetti.
I know, everybody loves that.
Yeah.
And then we could do one with you making chili, because your chili is good.
Oh, yes.
And we can do one with you making rice, and I'll help you. Because your rice recipe, actually,
it's actually
cooking rice,
good.
Everyone who ever learns it and does it never messes up their rice ever again.
Ever again. It's really, really
and that's
good.
Impressive.
Yeah.
I used to laugh about that because I was listening to a story one day, and this guy or a gal was cooking and describing things. He said, okay, let me show you how to cook rice. I said, this is pretty ridiculous, honestly. How many billion people on the world? 8 billion or plus. And over half of them, probably 6 billion of them, cook rice every single morning and don't even think a minute about it. And watch this lady. She's going to cook rice in this pan on a fire with no measuring cup. And I'm going to show you how to do it. It's not that hard. But it's always been a hard thing for me. Can we have rice? I don't know how to cook it.
Yeah, it's so weird, huh?
It's too complicated to make rice.
It never comes out right.
It never comes out right. How much you supposed to put in? I don't know. Anyway, yeah, we can do that.
Yeah, we can. So what you're saying is your cooking channel is going to be our cooking channel?
Oh, that's what I said, isn't it? Because I'm not me, I'm a we. And my we has you in it, baby.
Okay, we're going to have... Okay, so you can vote somehow on our Telegram.
Yeah, maybe there.
Yeah, vote us there, man. And you can ask questions there, too, in our Telegram account. And you can say, hey, yeah, we want a we.
I vote for a we.
Larry
then we
and
can
Inelia's cooking channel.
We can have a floating camera, because one of us can hold the camera while
Exactly, yeah, we can swap the camera over.
And we'll probably even shave.
Yeah, you could shave. I don't need to shave.
Oh, thank God for that. So that's the idea. The new paradigm is not the thing that you've been reading about. That's somebody else's. Yours is yours.
Yes.
And you can certainly, I appreciate the fact that you can get ideas and inspiration from high frequency people. right?
Yes.
But don't create their world. Create yours. And yours can include others, right?
Absolutely, yeah. Oh, yeah.
So what happens when you find yourself creating and not stopping and just doing, and you found out, oh, it's just us 2 or 3 or 4 that are liking this, and as a matter of fact, all of the feedback I get says, that's kind of like red flaggy. So what do you do about that?
Do what? Because it's only
when
true?
You find yourself in that position. Like, I've done that plenty of times.
What?
Like creating 5D, or that movie TV channel thing that I did for a while, Facebook group with unnamed not so great sexual predator.
Oh, yeah. Well, your allies, the shows were not very good, honey.
I know, but I just did it.
Yes,
right?
you did.
I just said, what I really want is a high-frequency channel with high-frequency people creating high-frequency things, and then I invited people to create them with me. And guess what?
What?
It didn't end up working. I mean,
yeah.
it worked. We got a lot of people interested. We made money. We were supported ourselves. We traveled the world. We had an awesome, excellent time. There was, real-world issues, like personal between people issues, and at some point or other there were hidden issues that weren't clear, but the fact and the matter is that I thought that's what I was creating, and that's what I went in to create, but there was something off, and in the end it collapsed, and it collapsed rightly so. I claimed it, I explained what happened, and I shared what happened on a letter and posted it on the place and just stopped everything. Then thought about how to restart, but I never could and never did restart. And it's still sitting there, So that was, you do that 2 or 3 or 4 times like I have, and pretty soon you got your good scope created, a little bit smeared. It's like, maybe I better look a little closer before I create something. So what do you do about that? How do you move forward through those things? So
what I found with regards to groups, when we set up Walk With Me Now, it was 2014. It was 2014.
Right.
Before that, I refused to create any type of group. The Facebook pages was about it. Yeah. And it wasn't any groups in it. It was just the pages. But I did not believe and want to create any type of group to do anything, really. I had Inelia and Inelia working with me at Ascension101.com, and that was it. And I didn't want any more. That was it. Because the energy of group was highly corrupted on the planet. And any time that I'd seen, and any groups that I've seen created, large groups, small groups, we're talking from Catholic Church to governmental organizations to the local neighborhood groups to 2 or 3 or 4 people getting together to do something. They were all infused with energies of corruption, and I just didn't want anything to do with it. In 2014, something shifted in the planet, and also myself. I did process and looked at it continuously, and within myself I realized at that point, wait, I'm ready now, I can do this. We can do this on the planet. So I proposed it, and several people got together, and we created Walk With Me Now. And that has been a learning process, because at the time I said it's an experimenting community.
Right.
And I didn't know if it was going to work out or not, right? Because I know the type of individuals that I like to hang out with, and it's about hanging out with them. And yes, it's Inelia-centric in that it's mostly about studying and learning and using and having the tools that I teach in your life. But yeah, we talk about lots of other things, and we share lots of other information and try lots of other tools. But that is basically what it is, and it had a very core essence of that. We created the rules of engagement that people read before they post. And, actually we should put that rules of engagement outside of the forum, so people, before they join, they can read them. They're very, very good rules of engagement that also we have developed and moved forward with. The energy behind Walk With Me Now has changed over the years, and it has created a really, really amazing community, a high frequency community. It's outstanding, it's amazing. So it's a learning process, but it's very, very strict, And I think that many times before, and the experiences that you had, You came from a level of awareness that wasn't street smart. You're a light worker and think the best of everybody. And predators will take advantage of that, and you were taken advantage of. And I saw it happen, you know? And it's like that when you say your enthusiasm and your energy and your chi, it's very powerful, amazingly powerful, and these leeches will used to latch on to you, and you didn't know better because you always thought the best of people. You never would have imagined what they were doing in the background. And I can relate, because the one time that I had created a group before with the Global Ascension Center, created a group to manage it, I managed to also attract predators, you know? So I had to dissolve it. I deleted it as soon as I found out.
Same thing.
Yeah, I found out. Immediately I deleted it. I deleted the entire thing and I started from fresh. So you're not the only one.
Well, on a positive note, we have the Guild of Gaia, Brides and Grooms of Gaia.
Yeah.
And the contract with Gaia. I guess they call it a contract, don't we?
Yes, the contract with Gaia, yeah.
Which is a very, very high frequency rules of engagement also. Probably we ought to share a link to that too.
Yes, it's guildofgaia.com.
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 Nobody's taking advantage of me there.
Nope, nobody's taking advantage of you. Like
it's
zero.
Kind of nice.
Yes, it's very nice, very nice.
We have Guild, or GOGOPS.
GOGOPS, yes.
The GOGOPS is our local Guild of Gaia Olympic Peninsula sector or pod?
Yeah, pod, yeah.
Pod. Yeah. And nobody there's tried to or has taken advantage of you or I or each other, I don't think.
Nope.
Nothing that I witnessed.
Yeah.
And, we have our Shaman Shack and our community of
individuals.
Well, now we have a community of grooms present.
Yes.
Somebody called in the grooms. Oh my God, did they show up?
Yeah, they have. They're showing up. It's great.
And that makes an interesting segue into structure, obviously, structure and power.
Yes.
But no one there seems to be taking advantage of you or I or each other.
Nope, nobody's taking advantage of us.
So maybe we have made some progress.
I think we have made some progress.
So in spite of saying, I ain't doing that again, I already did it.
You did. You've done it in several groups, and it has been highly successful.
Okay, so there you go. Even if you've been involved in that, doesn't mean it has to continue. Definitely, if you notice it, look at it, say, what's the word you use? Oops.
Oops.
Say oops, and delete it. Stop. You just stop.
Yeah.
And then give yourself some time, clear your field, and be open to again. And you can use some of the work that we've created as templates, That's part of what you can discover at Walk With Me Now is a template for creating an online community. That's high frequency, right?
Yes, absolutely.
You can use the Guild of Gaia, Brides and Grooms of Gaia, as a template to create a community of physical around with Gaia itself.
With a contract.
You and Gaia have the contract together. It's not with the people around you. It's
or
with
the
you
people
and
who
Gaia.
Created it.
Or the people who created it, for that matter. Because we'll call
you
it
and Gaia.
channeled from Gaia, but it isn't. It was co-created with Gaia as part.
Yes.
So you go explore that. There's a template there for help understand what a high frequency relationship looks like and is. So that's the kind of thing you hold it to. And I guess explore from there, right?
Yeah.
I think that's
So it's like, don't wait. Just don't wait. Don't use any excuses to wait. Just do it.
Yeah, my camera's not good enough. My microphone's not good enough. I can't create a store. I don't know how. You're not alone. You got tons of people around you. And if they're not the people you want to work with, there's tons of people at Walk With Me Now, Talk With Me Now,
Yes.
Benz Academy, Guild of Gaia. You're surrounded. You're not alone.
Yes, that is true.
That's your strength is my strength, and our strength is your strength. How's that work?
Oh, yes. Our strength is your strength, and your strength is our strength. That is true. And one of the things that it reminded me of, when I first set up the Global Ascension Center, I had communication with many, many people around the world who wanted to model their land on the Global Ascension Center promise. Right. And you can go to the Global Ascension globalascensioncenter.org to figure out what that is. Anyways, so one of the things that happened at the Shaman Shack was, and the Global Ascension Center, the land that we finally acquired for Gaia, was an energy of, this is in the middle of nowhere, we don't have community and all these type of things. And the energy we went in with was that energy of build it and they will come, that energy.
Right.
And so I wanted to talk to all those individuals who have land out there and who are high frequency. If you create a playground for fairies, they will arrive. If you create a very strong and powerful rules of engagement for yourself and for anybody who comes to your land and settles there or not settle there, whatever it is, they will do it. They're grateful and appreciative of a location which has those agreements that they agree with and that others will agree with. And I will ask Iliad to put our agreements, our engagement, rules of engagement on the forefront of the Walk With Me Now page so that people know what I'm referring to, because at the moment you can only get them if you go into the forum. So it'd be really good to have that done.
Excellent. Yeah, and I think that's part of we are building a residence of forum on the reservation. We're in a 2 or 3 or 4 year process of clearing what blocks us from building and creating, and part of it has been the community of people that we have around us not wanting us to
go into the reservation.
Well, I guess go into the reservation, but more essence is retreat
yes.
to isolation because the res is closed, you can't visit, this and that, and some of the design is about us particular. And so one of the things I was exploring was how to create a house, residence on property that we own that includes our community and not just us, right? And includes an invitation for high frequency individuals to not just drive by and look, but drive by and stop and engage in creating the relationship and the community that we like to have with each other. With the boundary of still, you need your private space.
Yes.
You don't want people in your living room all day, all night.
Exactly, yeah.
I mean, maybe you do, but I don't.
I don't, no.
But I would like to have the space for that to exist with me or without me there.
Exactly. Private space plus also a community space.
Right. So when we consider our design for the land and include that in the process, I'm trying to see if that is the aligned thing, right? If that moves it forward. And actually, as I say it, as soon as we changed to that, the electric PUD guy did show up.
Yeah, he did.
Maybe we need to do a little bit more work on that.
Yeah, a little bit more.
All right. That's our just doing it. And so just doing it on our actual community house has been moving like gangbusters.
Yes.
Oh my gosh, we have a tile floor in the bathroom, which used to be this kind of cement board.
Yeah, the cement boards, yeah.
And we had the fiber plywood board, and Hopi put some paint on it, gray paint. And it looked like a floor, kind of.
A painted floor.
It was a painted floor.
The paint was coming off it and it was dirty.
It's been a while.
Yeah.
We were thinking of it only for the last event, right?
One event,
because we were not done.
In 2017, I think it was.
Yeah, that's been 3 years.
Finally, we have the floors in.
Now we have new floors covering the entire house.
Yeah.
End to end, top to bottom, side to side. And we had a couple of Guatemalan Indians. I guess Indians. What word they we use?
They use indigenous.
They're indigenous?
Yeah, they use the word indigenous.
Indigenous Guatemalans. Yeah. And they have the most amazing language.
They do. Really amazing language.
They call it ma'am. I think it's
an
ma'am.
Amazing work ethic. They were perfectionists. They did an amazing job. Really, really top notch.
Right. There were things that were beyond his knowledge. He didn't know how to do the thing with the grout, right?
Yeah.
And Hopi stepped in.
Helped him out.
At first there was a little bit of the energy of, you don't know what you're doing, I'll do it. But that morphed very quickly into...
Very fast.
here, guys.
This is how to do
Let
it.
me show you how to do this.
And they were,
because
like, so
I respect
receptive.
your work ethic, and they
Yeah.
were very receptive. And that's
Extremely
the energy of the elder. The elder,
Yes, they respect their
shows and
elders.
models.
Exactly.
and and I guess the younger than elders. What do you call those?
The younger elders,
The ones that ain't elders yet.
they're not elders.
But what do they call them?
There's no name for them.
The children? They're not children.
No, they're not children. They're just the people.
The people.
the
Well, they're in
people.
their 40s and 30s and 50s and 40s, whatever. They're not elders. They're
Receptive to
receptive to the elders'
Elders.
instruction.
Yeah.
But that is another interesting conversation we should have. The difference between elder and older.
that. Yes, that
Because
would be
there's
really
some elders
great.
who I would not say are elders.
Oh yes, definitely yes.
So
But
anyways.
Hope is definitely our tribe elder
Yes, I
at the
see.
Shaman Shack. Definitely.
Definitely.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I think we kept it to one topic, right?
Yes, we were really good at it. Well done, honey.
Well done. You did a good job, babe.
Thank you.
I love you.
I love you too.